Hello everyone. This is an introductory session for Paradise Lost Book 1 by John Milton. Paradise Lost is written in the 17th century during the Puritan Age. The Puritan Age is divided into the Jacobian Age and Caroline Age after the names of the rulers James I and Charles I. The Jacobean Age, ruled by James I, extends from 1603 to 1625, and Caroline Age by Charles I extends from 1625 to 1649. And after that, there is a Restoration period which extends from 1660 to 1700. Now, who is a Puritan? Puritan is a member or a group of English Protestants of 16th and 17th centuries who advocated strict religious discipline, which includes simplification of the ceremonies and creeds of the Church of England. They considered pleasure or luxury to be sinful. Puritanism is considered the second greatest Renaissance. And coming specifically to the Jacobean period, the last Tudor monarch, Queen Elizabeth, died in 1603 without leaving heirs. So James VI of Scotland was ascended to the throne of England as James I. He was a Protestant who rejected the papal supremacy and the supremacy of Bible. He believed in divine right and took many early anti-parliamentary decisions. He oppressed the Catholics and the Puritans, and because of that, all these people had to fled to America, and later they came to be known as Pilgrim Fathers. And during the period of James I, there came the authorized version of Bible, the 1611 version of Bible. And James I was succeeded by Charles I in 1625. He ruled England, Scotland, and Ireland together. He too believed in the divine rights of the king. He introduced unpopular taxes and Parliament opposed Charles I. Charles I refused to accept the Parliament's demands for constitutional monarchy, and he ruled without parliament for 11 years, extending from 1629 to 1614, and this is known as 11 years tyranny. The Civil War broke out, and on one side there were royalists or cavaliers. They upheld the monarch with his theory of this divine right of a king. On the other side, there were Puritans or the independents who stood for the rights of the individual man and for the liberties of parliament and people. Though Puritans were there in the period of Wycliffe and Langland itself, they were subsided by Queen Elizabeth and the succeeding James I. Though Puritans were not a majority in England, they were so strong and firm in their activities. They were having a strong conscience which questioned the wrong deeds of the institution. A civil war, in fact, took place in two phases. First part was from 1642 to 1646. And the next part of the Civil War broke out in 1648, which extended till 1654. The Puritans won the Civil War, and Charles I was held under captivity from 1647. He was put under trial from 20th January 1649. Charles I still believed in his divine authority to rule, and he was beheaded on 30th January 1649. That was the first time a king got beheaded. The Puritans, who were having a strict, disciplined life, closed the theatres in 1642. Puritans attacked on professional theatre and female actresses. During that time, there emerged so many female actresses during that time, and all of them got attacked by the Puritans. As a result of the war, England was for a brief period a commonwealth, that is, very disciplined at home and respected abroad, through the genius and vigor and tyranny of Oliver Cromwell, the period of Oliver Cromwell, that is 1653 to 1658. When Cromwell was died, there found no man in England to take his place. And for a short period of time, he was succeeded by his son, Richard, but he was a very ineffectual ruler, and he could rule only for 8 months. 2 years later, Prince Charlie, who had long been an exile, was recalled to the throne as Charles II of England. He was in France, he was recalled and ascended to the throne of England as Charles II. He was but not an impressive ruler. To know about his potential or capability, Wilmot, the Earl of Rochester, had written his epitaph, and he wrote thus: "Here lies our sovereign lord the king, whose word no man relies on, who never said a foolish thing, nor ever did a wise one." So this is what the impression on Charles II. Now moving to the literary features of the period, one can see a decline from the high Elizabethan standard. The realm of poetry was showing a fashion towards shorter poems, especially the lyric of a peculiar type. And prose marked increase in activity. Different kinds of proses were there. The main writers who contributed to the genre of prose were Sir Thomas Browne, Edward Hyde, Thomas Hobbes, Jeremy Taylor, Thomas Fuller, etc. And analyzing the major types of prose pieces, there were sermons. Robert South and all wrote so many sermons. And philosophical works were there. John Hales is an example. Then there were so many historical works. Of course, there were miscellaneous prose. Miscellaneous prose include pamphlets. So these are the different types of prose that were very common during this period. The lyric or love or religion were the major themes of the lyrics. George Wither and so many anonymous poets wrote many lyric poems during this time. Then, of course, the epic. Sublime subject in the grand manner. Milton is the man behind epic during this period. Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, etc. are examples. The odes, Spenser's Epithalamion, Prathalamion, then Cowley's Pindaric odes, etc. were so popular during this time. Then descriptive and narrative poetry, Milton's L'Allegro and Il Penseroso, Herrick's pastoral poems, then Crashaw's religious descriptive pieces, Sir John Denham's Cooper's Hill, etc. are examples. And about drama, during the Elizabethan period, drama was at its peak. It was the golden period of drama. And during this period, one can see a decline or a temporary collapse of drama. But still there were some dramatic pieces. James Shirley's Pleasing Comedies of London Life, The Lady of Pleasure was a drama written in 1635. Then of course Suckling and Davenant were there.